Have you ever been really excited about something, a small win, a new idea, and you share it, and the other person's reaction just puts it out? Well, that's exactly what we're getting into today. We're going to dive into how to protect that inner flame, how to become a firekeeper for your own joy. This is the Firekeeper's Field Guide. This line from author Thaddeus Mitchell just perfectly captures the whole idea, right? It gets at that feeling so well, that joy is this precious, powerful, but also really fragile thing. It needs to be protected from the elements, and yeah, sometimes from the people around us. All right, so let's jump right in with section 1, snuffing the small light. Before we can even talk about protecting our joy, we have to put a name to that feeling. It's time to identify that moment we all know, when your little spark gets snuffed out before it even gets a chance to catch. I mean, is that not the perfect description? It's that sharp, disappointing sizzle. You share something good, and instead of getting warmth back, you get this response that just feels like a cold, wet thumb on your excitement. And, we pretend that only big failures are supposed to sting, but man, this has its own unique kind of hurt. And there's actually a term for it, micro-extinguishers. And the key word here is slow damage. See, it's not usually one big dramatic blow. It's the little things, right? The constant, subtle dampening from a bored sigh, a dismissive comment, or one of those jokes that just leaves you feeling kind of small. So that really begs the question, right? That brings us to section 2. Why do people dim your glow? Now that we know what it feels like, we got to explore the why. What's going on in someone's head when they become what the author calls a finger licker? So the author gives us a few profiles to look out for. First, you've got the people who see you sharing your joy and think it's some kind of sales pitch they need to critique. Then there are those who are almost allergic to a light they didn't spark themselves. You've also got the ones who hide behind just being realistic, and, of course, the ones who use humor as a weapon and then act all innocent when it hurts. And this next part really nails the difference, especially on that realism point. There is a huge gap between honesty and cynicism. Honesty, even when it's tough to hear, is like a scalpel. It's precise, and the goal is actually to help. But cynicism? That's more like rust. It's not direct. It just slowly corrodes everything. It's sabotage. And here we get to the absolute heart of the matter. You could spend your whole life trying to justify your excitement, trying to build the perfect argument for why you're happy. But that's not the point. Your little flame doesn't need a better speech. It just needs a windbreak. It needs protection. Which brings us to the really good stuff. Section 3, the Firekeeper's Field Guide. This is the practical, step-by-step toolkit for how you can actually build that windbreak for yourself, and maybe in doing so, for other people too. Okay, so here they are, the 6 core strategies of the field guide. We're going to walk through each one of these, from learning how to read the weather in a room, all the way to rewriting those old internal scripts that keep us playing small. This is your toolkit. First up, name the weather. It's basically about situational awareness. Before you strike that match and share your little spark of joy, just take a second, read the room. Is this a safe, supportive space, or is it a storm where everyone's competing? Because if it's a storm, that is not the time to make your tiny flame prove itself against a hurricane. Step 2 is a big one. It's all about changing your metrics. It is so easy to look for applause, right? To look for that external validation. But the real measure of success isn't the sound of claps, it's the feeling of internal heat. Did this idea light something up inside you? Because that's the only thing that really, truly matters. Okay, this next one is all about being proactive. You got to build your crew, your fire circle. Think about it. Who are those 2 or 3 people in your life who, when you share good news, instinctively cup their hands around your flame to protect it? Go to them first. And hey, if you feel like you don't have anyone like that, the fastest way to find a firekeeper is to be one for someone else. I just love how simple and powerful this is. If someone is determined to be negative, you are not going to logic them into being happy for you. It's not going to happen. So save your energy. When you get that dismissive comment, your response isn't a long defense. It's a boundary. 2 words. Got it. That's it. It's a full stop. Resilience is everything. Look, just because someone interrupted your joy doesn't mean they erased it. This step is about having your own backup matches. Think of them as your personal reset buttons. Maybe it's a specific song, a quick walk outside, a note you wrote to yourself, whatever it is that helps you find that spark again, all on your own terms. And now we get to the really deep work. A lot of us learned a long time ago to kind of reject ourselves first, to dim our own light before someone else could do it for us. It was a survival strategy, and it worked. But the question you have to ask now is that old armor still actually protecting you? Or is it just weighing you down and keeping you from growing? And all of this, every single one of these steps, leads us to our final section. Stop auditioning your joy. This is about a massive shift in your mindset. It's like taking a new vow with yourself, a whole new way of sharing the things that light you up. This right here, this is the whole takeaway. Let that sink in. Stop performing, stop justifying, stop auditioning your happiness for an audience that has already made up its mind not to clap. They are an unlit room. It's time to find a different stage. This is such a powerful way to reframe this whole thing. For so long, we're made to feel like our excitement is a problem, like it's something to be managed. But your joy is not a fire hazard you have to contain. It's a hearth. It's a source of warmth and life. And people can either pull up a chair and get warm, or they can find somewhere else to go. So here's your new go-to response to replace that old rusty armor. When that instinct to shrink kicks in, and it will, you can push back with this question. And you can say it out loud, or you can just say it to yourself. Why exactly are you trying to put my light out? And we're going to leave you with this one last thought from the author. If someone else's sense of calm requires you to be less bright, less enthusiastic, less you, then what they're actually looking for isn't peace, it's control. And that's a plan you never have to agree to.